Hello all, Pit Bike Mike. It has been a little bit, which unfortunately I've said that a couple of many times. So what's the reasoning now? Well, I've been a little selfish. I went out and bought myself a second helmet. That it's a Shoei RF SR, something like that. And I put a Cardo Freecom X4. What is this person doing? Dear Lord, man. So Freecom X4. I will admit I have been sleeping on comm units, and they are pretty awesome. I kind of regret waiting so long to end up getting one, cause wow, I love the sound of my engines and my bikes and stuff, especially with my my pipes and all that good stuff, making a racket everywhere I go. But I'll admit, it's sometimes nice listening to either music or, in my case, I love audiobooks. I know it makes me sound like an old man, but I love audiobooks. And sometimes it's really nice just to go out for rides and just, I know you're supposed to pay attention, which I do, but it's nice to sometimes just lose yourself in an audiobook. Go out for a nice comfortable ride and just, yeah. I listen to music once in a while, but mostly audiobooks. I know, it's crazy. It is, I don't know, it's nice. I don't ride enough with other people to where I use it as a comm. Like, obviously I do with the wife sometimes, but for the most part it's just listening to audiobooks or music. So that's been my guilty pleasure this past bit. It's just nice to get out and just ride and clear my mind and just center myself, because every once in a while it's extremely needed. So I wanted to address the two random videos of when I did the SCCA events on the karts, and I will tell you, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. But there is a reason why I partaken? Either way, there is a reason why I took part in that. So, to give you a little bit of backstory on what led me to that point. When I was in the Miata Club, the last spirited drive I went to, there was this kid. And this kid is young, not very bright, and lacking of skill. And we're talking about skill as in driving skill, and we're also talking about just general upkeep and maintenance on his own vehicle, which I understand, being young and not having money to make sure your car is running to the top shape that it should be. But if you're going to partake in certain things, you gotta be smart. So, which leads me into this. We were on the drive and he was going too fast on the junky crap tires that he had. And 30-something-year-old suspension that probably had never been updated. And he smashes into a tree. Well, it's whatever, you know, it happens. Somebody screws up, he smashes into a tree. But, so, not to rag on this kid too bad, but he made everybody feel bad for him. And so they all donated and gave him money to go out and buy another NA Miata, which is first gen Miata for those that aren't in the know. You know, I'll admit, you know, kind of sat with me a little weird. You know, if you screw up because you ran out of skill and you didn't take proper care of your car, I feel like that's on you. And then you shouldn't be rewarded by getting a new vehicle purchased for you, practically. Because I don't even think he put any money into purchasing the second Miata that he got. So, I will admit, he did learn a little bit and he got better tires. And I think he did put a suspension, I don't really know. So, he goes to a couple autocross events. And now, all of a sudden, he thinks he is the fastest guy out there. You know, like... So, the Miata Club was talking, and we all decided to take part in this SCCA karting event. And, you know me, because I got a little bit of an ego myself, and what's the word I'm looking for? You know, I'm also competitive to a certain degree. So I was like, you know what? I bet I could beat him, and pretty much, you know, a whole host of people. I was like, you know what? I guarantee I'm faster than them. So this is where the karting event comes in. Level playing field for the most part. Everything has the same power. Everything has roughly the same wear on the tires. Now, I am 80 pounds heavier than the boy of the topic of the story. And you know what? The pit bike Mike did not disappoint. I beat his time, even weighing 80 pounds heavier, which I'll admit I put on some comfort weight, you know, maybe I've gone up a pant size or two, but it's whatever, It happens to the best of us. But I was still able to beat his time. Obviously, I wasn't the fastest there. But you know what? Out of all the people, and this is no BS, out of the people that I wanted to beat, I beat. So you know what? That's a win in my book. So yeah, I don't know. It might not be the most entertaining story, but you know, it gives you a little bit of the insight on me. So that brings us to some more karting. So I've done a couple of karting sessions since then. Now the problem is that the indoor karting that I went to, they don't allow video cameras, which I think is kind of stupid. Whee! Oh yeah, nothing like a little power wheelie. Okay, so going back. My camera's still rolling? Yes it is. Alright, cool. Alright, so been doing this indoor karting, which it's not as fast, not as high G's, but it's a little bit more technical. It's still fun in its own way. But they don't allow cameras, which I don't know why, but yet if you're taking part in their adult league, which I went to one league race, you know, I did okay. Obviously, you know, out of the 8 people that showed up, I was 6th, so, you know, it's not like I'm, you know, a Formula 1 driver, but, you know, I did okay. So, in the adult league, they allow you to use their camera, which they will 3M tape to the top of your helmet, which they told me I couldn't use my own camera, and I'm like, why not? They couldn't really give me an answer, you know, and maybe it could have been for safety, but I was like, man, this mount on my helmet has survived way faster than this cart could ever do. But Off topic. Well, it's not really off topic, but either way. So, been doing that. It's still a lot of fun, but I really wish I could record it. So, which kind of brings me to my next little piece. So, I've always seen people on the little dog's running out, risking its life. So I've always seen random videos to where people will either have in like one of the corners of the videos like the speedometer or the like G-forces and stuff like that, which, you know, it's pretty cool. And I was like, man, I wish my GoPro could do that. So I did a little bit of research, and my GoPro can, but it is very convoluted. I gotta like take the footage, put it onto my phone, and do it on my phone before transferring it to my computer. Because for some reason, if I just go straight from GoPro to computer, it loses the GPS data, which is, it's annoying, to put it mildly. Not even mildly, extremely annoying. So it's an extra step in the process. So the reason why I bring this up is because I had a comment that asked me to do, you know, 0 to 60 on like the Royal Enfield Hunter 350 and the KLX. Well, unfortunately the Royal Enfield is gone. Well, it's not really unfortunate, but it is gone. The wife traded it in because when we did the Suzuki demo day, she fell in love with the SV650, which we've been currently working on breaking in and all that good stuff. She did test drive the 8S, but even though we both love the look of the 8S, I didn't get to ride it, but she liked the SUV better, so, you know, it's whatever. So I recorded doing a 0 to 60 video for the Enfield, and it doesn't always seem like it based off my videos, but I try to be a perfectionist to the level that I am capable. So, you know, I recorded it. It's not as good as it could be, but it's good enough. Is my camera still going? Yes, it is. Perfect. I have low battery on my camera. I have it plugged in. That's why I'm checking it, just to make sure I'm not just talking to myself, which, you know, that's not uncommon either. So going on. So it isn't as good as I would have liked, and I will admit, you don't realize how slow something is until you try to record a 0 to 60. I actually had to look up what the manufacturer says the 0 to 60 is on that bike to make sure that there wasn't something wrong with it, because it was so slow. I'll probably end up posting it anyway, but that is how it is. So hopefully for the one video for the not the SV, my lord, the KLX 230, I will attempt to do a 0 to 60 video on that at some point, and I will make sure to go through the extra steps and processes to add the GPS data, which would be kind of cool. But yeah, that Royal Enfield was so slow. Wonderful bike though, but very, very slow. Yeah, that's been kind of the interesting stuff. So I will admit, I have been riding my Harley a lot recently. A lot more than I've ridden my other bikes. And I don't know how I feel about it. I'll admit the saddlebags have a large part to play, especially when going back and forth to work. You want to hit that person's going so slow. I ain't getting behind them. But I've been riding it a lot, and I don't know, I do like it. Now, I'm still iffy on Harley guys from time to time, but you know, I do like the bike. I don't know, I guess it's the feeling, the rumbling, the sound, which, you know, even if you aren't a fan of Harley, they do make good looking bikes. You can't really deny that. But one thing you can say is they're definitely more reliable than those KTMs. Just saying! Hot take, hot take! But yeah. So I've been doing a lot of riding on that, and I actually have more miles on that than I do my Z900, which I've had for longer. It's kind of wild, I'll admit. I will admit. So, why the little content? Well, you know, I enjoy doing moto vlogs, I enjoy talking, but I'll admit it gets repetitive. Unless you're always upping the ante, which can be extremely expensive, to consistently up the ante on things that you're doing. Unless you're doing demo days, which for some reason this year, the demo days have not worked in my favor. And I'll admit, it's a little upsetting. I'm kind of sad. I would love to have done more demo days. Honestly, I would love to have ridden more Suzukis when I did that, but the problem with like manufacturers like Suzuki and stuff like that is they're popular. So there were so many people that getting to actually ride was very difficult, unfortunately. And also, if the place wasn't over 3 hours away one way, I would have taken off and gone up and did a Friday and a Saturday, but I think I also might have been out of vacation time too, so that probably played into why I didn't take off anyway, but it's neither here nor there. So yeah, I don't know, I feel like doing demos and riding different style of bikes and giving input like that is at times more entertaining than just listening to me run my mouth about nonsensical things. Obviously, some people may like that, some people don't. I can only please so many. But speaking about demos, I did test ride recently the new 2024 Street and Road Glide Harley Davidsons. Yes, I know, Harley, But, when I originally test rode a Road Glide, before I even purchased my Harley, I could not stand it. I really couldn't. It felt unwieldy, it was heavy, and just, But after owning my Heritage for almost a year now, and all that, well, when I took the Road Glide out, I was like, wow, this isn't actually as bad as I thought it was. I was able to, because I just did, like a dealership test ride, I was able to take it on the highway, got up to the speed limit, to see what the wind buffeting was like, because I'll tell you, on my Heritage, with that windshield, it is brutal. I had to add, they're like fork fangs, which help keep the air coming from down low up, and made a huge difference, but still not as good as having a proper fairing. But what can you do? So I rode it, and then I rode the Street Glide, which the Street Glide, the Batwing fairing, the iconic Harley. I've always loved it, and I thought I was gonna love it more, but I am sad to say that I actually like the Road Glide better now that I've ridden my Softail for a while and I've gotten used to the weight and stuff like that, I unfortunately like the Road Glide a little bit better. You know, because I always watch videos and I've always been like, why do people say the Road Glide's better? What, you know, because I always looked at it and I've always thought the Street Glide looked better than the Road. But, you know, this ain't no Harley, you know, thing. But, yeah, I unfortunately found out. I really did. Not that I'm going to end up getting one anytime soon. I hope not. I literally cannot afford it, because when you're talking about $31,000, I could go out and buy an SUV for that price. It's, I don't know, it's really hard to justify. Because, you know, I could go out and get that GSX-S 1000 GT that I liked, that I demoed, which honestly I've really been considering it. I really have. But I could buy 2 of them for the price of one Harley, you know, Road Glide. And that's a little sickening when you think about it. I can have 250 horsepower inline 4-cylinder touring, sport touring bikes for the cost of one bagger. Yeah. Kind of hard to do the math on that one, ain't it? But yeah, so, you know what? I think I'm gonna end it off there. I could prattle on for an unknown amount of time for about, you know, things that don't matter, but I think this is a decent high note. So, on that note, I hope y'all like, subscribe. Pit Bike Mike is